The Bears, the
Yeah.
defense.
Mm.
How legit is the defense? Is it a fluke? Is it coming along? Is it just injured?
Yeah.
Where would you say this Bears defense is as far as the legitimacy of it? It's been doing much better, really, since that Cowboys game. You really have been much better. I mean, you really kind of clamped down on the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Played really well that game. You jumped on the Saints, and I know that they're certainly not the greatest show on turf or nothing like that on offense, but still, you made them look as bad as they are. So where's the defense?
Defense definitely isn't a fluke. And I think if you watch that opening game, right, to kick off the season, or Monday night against Minnesota, we had them, we were dominating the hell out of them. And then the wheels fell off in that fourth quarter. And I think it culmination of a couple of things. I think just some of the newness of what Dennis Allen was trying to do. You throw in a couple of, you're dealing with a really good Justin Jefferson who, made a couple of plays, and then you have McCarthy who, damn quarterback keeper, he takes it in his zone, and good old Mo tilted on us, and then we kind of let one go in a disappointing fashion, and I think we roll right in there into Detroit. And not to make excuses, but I think this is where the marriage of complementary football, Ben, goes forward on a couple of, fourth downs, and that's an offense so you can't get that many cracks too. And we ended up, the field kind of tilted. So I say all that to say, coming out of those first 2 weeks, I think a lot of people, and we had a lot of injuries, right, that we didn't really talk about. We had lost Jalen Johnson. We lost Edwards. We had a few other. Gordon was out. So say all that to say, I don't think we were fully whole. And then we got right against you guys. And Dennis Allen has really turned this into an attacking style. We talked about his philosophy, which is
that's his style. That's his flavor. He likes to attack.
Mm-hmm. He's going to attack. He's going to have guys sticky in coverage and attacking the football. So a lot of people used to talk about that with Lovey too, right? So this is where this is my wheelhouse, and I speak to it, and people say it's fluky. You can't create all these turnovers. The hell you can't.
Yeah.
So when you preach it and you have an identity, and every time, what was the Bears' identity under Lovey? We're going to play tough defense. We're going to punch the ball out. We're going to create turnovers. Now, will you get 4 every game? No, it won't be that. But I do think as guys hold on and want to be more secure with the football, it might not be a turnover directly through a fumble or an interception, but it's a turnover on downs where you get a punt, you get off the field, right?
Yeah.
So
they don't fight as hard.
They're not fighting as hard. They're not taking as many chances with the football, and that's just as good as a turnover. It's similar to a pressure versus sack, right? Sometimes you don't see it in the numbers, but I do think this defense is legit in the sense that we really don't have a great pass rush from our front four. So we're having to do some creative things with our blitz packages. We're down in our secondary, and these guys are starting to play what I call very, very, and Dennis Allen talked about it, where trusting the call and doing your job and being in the right spots to where Dennis Allen does a great job of schematically having us ready. These turnovers are not just happenstance, and it when it's similar to an offense calling the right play at the right time versus the right defense. You can call the right defense against the right time versus an offense and exploit some of the weaknesses that you see there and create a turnover from preparation and game planning. So I think the defense is legit. We don't have, like I said, a ton of huge names, and we're not coming with the Micah Parsons sacks or the Max Crosbys or the, what I call the splash plays from the front four. But I do think, Al Harris, man, I know you loved him in Dallas.
Missed that guy.
I know Bland loves him. Bland got paid. Diggs was playing some of his best football under Al Harris. And you look at our secondary, Nashawn Wright, man.
He's turning the corner a little bit.
You look at Bird. He's leading the league in interceptions. You look at Trayvon Edmonds, he's leading the league for linebackers in interceptions. I really think Al Harris and Dennis Allen and that whole what I call mentality of what they put into the guys is producing, at a high clip with these turnovers. And I think we're legit, man. We played you guys, and again, everybody looked at that Dallas game and kind of, didn't give us much credit for it. But I think that's going to be one of our bigger wins towards the end of the year. Because you guys' offense, I know you lost CD early, so I'm not going to take full credit. You guys went fully whole, but you guys still very hard to stop. And we ended up holding you guys to 17 or something like that. It wasn't like you guys put up, 30 on us. So I think the defense is legit. That's my answer.
Yeah, I think the thing with the turnovers, I think the thing that people got to understand with the turnovers is you have to, number one, you have to be in position and be around the football,
right,
in order to create turnovers. Like to get sacks or strip sacks and stuff like that, you got to get to the quarterback. In order to force a fumble, very rarely does one person force a fumble. Most of the time when you force a fumble, it's in a crowd, and the player is surrounded, and two people already have him under control, and then someone else comes in and knocks it out. Even if one person comes and knocks it out, there's usually someone else there that the person has to pay attention to that's running the ball, and that's
Dennis Allen. And I mean, to cut you off, he used a term I had to use that I hadn't heard before. He was like, he called it population around the football, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's like, we got to have a population around the football. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're saying.
Because otherwise, it's actually poor technique to try to punch the ball out or take the ball away when you don't have the person secured and down. Because you're going to give up a lot more yards that way, and very rarely are you going to get that ball out. So, Al Harris teaches it. So, it's more sustainable than people think when you talk about forcing turnovers and creating big plays and stuff like that. But that down the stretch will be a key, because as your offense matures, you start to give your team multiple attempts, extra bites at the apple, if you will. With that, and that offense starts to get explosive, you can bury a team quick.
Yeah, I think the reality behind it, and I think that's what makes Ben Johnson a really good coach, is that he understands, complementary football. He also understands that these turnovers at this high clip, eventually those numbers are what I call level out, and you won't get the 3-4 turnover games, just because the league is a living, breathing amoeba, right? And it's changing, and people are gonna come in and be more cognizant of it. But to your point, if we can, tighten our offense up and start putting some points on the board, then I think we can help that defense even more, to where they can play with less variables coming from the offense, because they're gonna have to either throw the ball to get back in a game and abandon their running game, which I think in a perfect scenario, you get more cracks at the apple, just because you don't have as much to worry about, and those guys can hone in even more with trying to take that ball away through the pass and attack. So I think we both agree, Bears defense legit.
Yeah.
All right.